Shy Bro, Father James with Father Hank,
Hey.
here to talk about the sin of gluttony. Give me food. The vice or the bad habit that leads to the sinful action, gluttony. By the way, for those of you keeping score, we're skipping wrath because we did a podcast earlier on anger. That was the "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" podcast. If you want to listen to anger and holy anger and whatnot, go listen to that podcast. So we've done sloth and greed and envy, and then the Groundhog Day we kind of covered all the sins, and the opening was on pride. So now we're into gluttony. Mm-hmm. So this one really hit home for me. Now you might think, wow, Father James, you're kind of a thin guy.
What you talking about, Father James?
How could you be committing gluttony? Well, it's not just about necessarily eating a lot. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be overweight to be gluttonous. And I wrote a bulletin article on this a few weeks ago. I actually got a lot of some feedback on this because a lot of people are like, yeah, I have this one too. She's got this great acronym for gluttony. Do you remember what it is? Fresh. What are they, Father Hank?
Let's see. Fresh.
By the way, this isn't a big one for you. You're not gluttony. You're not.
I might have my moments. But
yeah,
far and few between.
Yeah, this one was the flashing red light for me. Okay, so fresh
stands for fastidiously, ravenously, excessively, sumptuously, and hastily eating.
Fresh, 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 fastidious. You're kind of picky, right?
Yes.
Picky with your food. Only you want the boiled egg done a certain particular way. Okay.
Ravenously. That's
like the food is going to be stolen out of your mouth, so you got to eat it as quickly. That would be more hastily. Like it's going out of style, and you're famished. So I use the image like when I played football, and like you're doing 2-a-day doubles in the summertime. It's really hot. You've been practicing. You're sweating. You're dying of thirst. It's a water break, and you like run to get the water, and you just like pound it like you're in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and you're gonna die, and you just drinking as much water as you can. All right, so I'm just eating this food so quickly because it's so pleasurable, and I need to just cram as much down my gullet as possible. Excessively, pretty self-explanatory. Just too much.
Yeah. Sumptuously
is that's
eating too sumptuously. Resembles the picky eater's problem, but it's a preoccupation with what we eat. So sumptuous choice foods.
I'm only going to shop at Whole Foods.
Only the most organic.
Yep, right. Get that White Castle slider out of my face. And then hastily again is just shoveling it down the throat. That's so my big ones are hastily and ravenously. And then I can do excessively. See, I have this weird phenomenon. People like, I can fast. I always compare myself to a camel. I can put away a lot of food. I used to be a lot heavier, especially like back in the football playing days. So my stomach is still pretty big. So I can crush a lot of food, like a lot of White Castle sliders, Super Bowl party. But then I can fat. I can go 24 hours without eating a thing, or longer even.
That's impressive. I can do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you kind of graze throughout the day.
Yeah.
Or I'll eat like a big breakfast, and then I'll go the entire day without eating, and then like wolf down a bunch of food for dinner. So, hastily or two, like, we'll sit down for dinner, and then I just like eat my plate instead of savoring it, and I think that would help me. I feel like I'm just in the middle of a therapy session right now.
You're doing fine.
What's the root of it? Okay. Yeah. Core wounds with food. Yeah. But why? Where is this coming from? Why is Father James eating so much food so quickly? Like it's going to go out of style. What are the roots of gluttony?
The roots of gluttony. My goodness.
Analyze me, Father Hank. What's going on? You've seen me eat.
Well,
it's obviously she makes a point about it. It's putting the pleasure of food ahead of kind of its purpose.
Yeah, putting the desire above the actual need of it, right? So there's a pleasure, desire derived from the food versus I just need to eat this and then my life goes on, but no, I need this because this is the only thing I'm looking forward to, like that break in the day.
And there's like this deep loneliness in me that says like I'm lonely, or I'm hurting right now, and so I need to be satisfied, right? And I'm gonna eat that entire plate of what are the things that Mary made? Those brownie type things that were so good.
Gosh, the caramel, sugar, butter, bar, delicacy, melted
right.
up.
I mean, by the way, I hope this podcast doesn't scare people off from bringing us food, because we need that. So keep bringing us food, all of you who've made so many dinners for us, and give a shout out to Linda, by the way. Linda and Maureen are awesome regular contestants for us.
It says right here in the book, if we condemn natural feelings as evil, for we become unable to enjoy the good things God meant us to enjoy, and we become less than we are meant to be, and our lives comparatively poorer. So it's good to recognize the joy of food, the joy of eating. Our Lord himself feasted and drank and enjoyed, but it was never solely for that purpose.
Right. Social purpose too, right? That's the hastily problem. I'll just eat really quick and then like, hey, do you want to talk to the people at the dinner table? It's like, no, the point is just to shovel food down your throat.
It's the spice of life, but not the substance of life.
She makes a point too that more people probably are afflicted by this deadly sin than we think about. Think about our society. We have more, she said, like the diet industry is at an all-time high. So think of all the diets that are always coming out, and what people are always dieting, and yet the exercise industry is also, so think of all the gyms that are opened up, all the the Nike training app that I do at home, and Zumba and Body Pump and all these exercise things you can do, and Peloton, there you go, and protein shakes. And yet fast food sales are also at like an all-time high.
Grubhub, DoorDash.
Right? So it's like people can't quite find the happy medium with food. You're either too fat and you hate your body, and so I gotta go on these diets and exercise excessively, or I'm too lonely and depressed and I don't have money, so I'm just gonna buy all this McDonald's and such. So all right, so so we've identified my problems. How can we help people who are struggling with gluttony?
I think you have
as priests, what would we offer?
You have to move away from the food as an object for itself to see that food can be the occasion for friends to come together, family to come together, to give praise to God for the gift of food. Right, He made us to have a palate to enjoy all the different flavors. To kind of see. Not hold food over and above greater, deeper goods.
Yeah. I think praying about it too. I know it's like, man, there's so many things I need to pray for and people I need to pray for, and I've got bigger issues than eating, but like everything is important in God's eyes. So pray about it, especially if you find yourself attached to food, or you're thinking and obsessing a lot about food and your body image. That might be God just wanting you to also, like we talked about with greed, just to let go and trust in Him. Can you just have one brownie and not 10? When you're in the midst of the pain, like I need to have these 10 brownies, or I need to go work out, can you use that pain and lift it up to God and sit with Him in it and let Him fill you instead of the 5th or 10th brownie? But at the end of the day, people, thank you for feeding us. It's really important. The food helps sustain us so we can preach well and do our mission, and enjoy White Castle and Tang. God bless.
Peace.